happened, Irma.
Yeah.
So, and I was also shocked because I didn't expect. So, can you tell me, is it really like regular thing? The island is exposed to high winds, yes, or?
Very often we are exposed to high winds, but in the range of, like this, you see we are about 50, 60 kilometers an hour. I keep checking because having a big antenna, you want to make sure that, you know, if you have an idea that the winds are going to be too strong, at least you crack it down. Right now, for the last few days, we had winds about 50, 55 miles an hour gusts. Yes, we are exposed to the winds. There's nothing that compare this to what happened in September. I mean, in kilometers, I think we are about 350 kilometers an hour. The sustained winds during that storm were 185 miles an hour. Sustained wind means that you have a consistent speed of 185 miles an hour for about, I believe, 45 seconds. But then the gusts up to 235 miles an hour. So, and we pass under the eye. So you see that the eye walls of the storm is where the winds are the strongest. And it was catastrophic. You know, well, I think we are very lucky and very blessed that me, my family, we still have a roof over our head. Because right now, there's a few months past, you can still see there is some blue tarp on top of the houses that they lost the roof. But immediately after, I mean, the level of damage was unbelievable. I've been here 15 years. I've seen other storms, category 2, category 3. Nothing compares to this. And category 5, the wind stops at 150 miles an hour. There's no category after 150 miles an hour wind. And we were at 185, so that's, if there would have been more categories, there would have been category 6, category 7. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable storm. We are exposed to wind. It's a beautiful island for windsurf, parasailing, how you call it, the boat sailing. They do a beautiful race in March. Exactly the same contest, the date of the EYEWITNESS contest. They do the Hurricane Regatta, so it's very popular for them. Then of course, you know, there is the downside between May and November, it's hurricane season. Maybe it happened every 20 years. The last one, the last strong one was Louis in 1995. And hopefully the next one is going to be in another 20 years. Because it could be every year technically, but this was the strongest of the century. So hopefully the next one, this strong, it's going to be, I don't have to see it again. Let's put it this way.
And so the question is, it was a warning about the coming hurricane, yes? And actually, what did you do at the time here?
Well, fortunately, it's customary if you live here for a long time that between May and November, the first thing what I do in the morning when I wake up, before I even open the website for the news, I open a website to see if there is any storm coming. We normally have plenty of warning. And it's a plus, but could be also a minus, because you follow every single storm that builds up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And 99 out of 100, they disappear, they go up, they go down. It's a category 5 today, it's a category 2 tomorrow. So everybody's saying, oh, it's okay, it's going to move a little bit up, we're not going to have any problem. Then 2-3 days before the storm, you start to realize that it's coming closer and it's going to come right on you. You still have a little hope that it's going to pass, but north or south. But every 6 hours, when you have an update with the National Hurricane Center in Miami, you check and you see there's no change in the path. It's still coming here. So a couple of days before the storm, you really start to react seriously, which is removing the antenna. For me, I need to call a crane operator. The crane is coming, bring it down. It's several hours of work, and then you know you're not the only one. There is people who want to take down the sign for the business, and people who want to secure the roof. So the guy is busy. It has to come at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he tell me, I have 1 hour. If you're not finished by 7 o'clock, it's your problem. But I was lucky enough that I was able to remove my antenna. The same day I went to buy some wood, I boarded up the windows, and
it was warning about the coming hurricane, yes? And actually, what did you do at the time here?
well, fortunately, it's customary if you live here for a long time that between May and November, the first thing what I do in the morning when I wake up, before I even open the website for the news, I open a website to see if there is any storm coming. We normally have plenty of warning. And it's a plus, but could be also a minus, because you follow every single storm that builds up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And 99 out of 100, they disappear, they go up, they go down. It's a category 5 today, it's a category 2 tomorrow. So everybody's saying, oh, it's okay, it's going to move a little bit up, we're not going to have any problem. Then 2-3 days before the storm, you start to realize that it's coming closer and it's going to come right on you. You still have a little hope that it's going to pass, but north or south. But every 6 hours, when you have an update with the National Hurricane Center in Miami, you check and you see there's no change in the path. It's still coming here. So a couple of days before the storm, you really start to react seriously, which is removing the antenna. For me, I need to call a crane operator. The crane is coming, bring it down. It's several hours of work, and then you know you're not the only one. There is people who want to take down the sign for the business, and people who want to secure the roof. So the guy is busy. It has to come at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he tell me, I have 1 hour. If you're not finished by 7 o'clock, it's your problem. But I was lucky enough that I was able to remove my antenna. The same day I went to buy some wood, I boarded up the windows, and I had left a little space to see outside because I have a balcony and I don't want the balcony to fill up with water and the water to come inside. So I said, if something happened, I've seen another storm, I had to go out and unblock the drain, and that was my eye on the storm, because we had this little space between the windows, and it's very hard to describe. The wind and the water and the breeze in the air, it's so thick that you cannot see on the other side of the road. It's all white, and every moment the wind comes down a little bit, you see the house in front of you, there's no more windows. The roof is gone. The tree that was there is now broken and over there. Cars are all with the windshield exploded. It's like a war zone. And talking about amateur radio in this scenario, they say when everything else fails, this is the case where you don't have no internet, you don't have no cell phone, you don't have no landline. If you don't have no satellite phone, Who has a satellite phone nowadays? Only very few people. Zero communication. And thanks to the radio, that same day after the storm, I was able to put a dipole over my balcony and put the radio in my car. I spoke with somebody in Puerto Rico on 40 meters at 2 in the afternoon, and I was able to call my mother in Italy on a phone patch and tell them, your family is okay, your children are alive, your grandkids are good. They'll let you know when the communication is restored. We're going to talk to you directly, but at least you have first-hand information that they have survived the storm, even though it's a catastrophe. So we did with my wife's family. We talked to somebody in Santo Domingo. With my neighbors, we talked to somebody in Colombia, and that was a little bit of hope, because it's the end of the world. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't have no supermarket. What you have to drink and to eat is what you have at home. People underestimate. They think it was gonna be a 2-3 day thing. We have been without water for 27 days. The area where I live, we were very lucky. We got the electricity back about 1 week after the storm, which is very, very quickly. I mean, some people didn't have electricity until Christmas. And, but you learn a lot of stuff. You learn how you don't have to give the water for granted anymore. Me, my children, my wife will learn such a valuable lesson out of this situation. You go to the bathroom, you flush, you never wonder how important is that. Try to live 27 days without flushing, and then you realize that water is such an important part of our life that now, you know, with the faucet, it's there. You don't ask where it's coming from, you don't ask where it's going, but when it's not there, it's huge, huge problem. And we have also good things coming out of the storm. You know, we got together with the people from the building, sharing foods. I had a little barbecue with a gas tank because nobody has power, and on the French side, several new buildings, they don't have gas lines, so everything is electric. So if you have no power, you don't cook. No fridge, no stove. You can eat bread and cheese, but the cheese is going to go bad in 2 days if you don't have no refrigeration. So we gather all together and we share what we had to cook. And I'm a chef originally, so, you know, to feed my family or feed the whole building, I decided that, you know, I'm not going to spoil anything, and I'm gonna feed everybody. And there is a bond now between me and my neighbors that it would have never happened without the storm. Some people got the windows damaged. My building where I live, there's a lot of single mothers with children, and they needed a lot of help in fixing the windows. Because remember, Irma was on Wednesday. Saturday we was expecting another storm, category 4, Jose, 3 days after. That's why nothing happened. The relief, the help, the army, nobody came for 4 days, because they said, okay, there's another storm, let's wait the other storm to pass, and then we go and help. Jose, just like everybody hoped for Irma, went north, 70 miles north. If you think how big is the Atlantic Ocean, what is 70 miles? It's nothing. And until that day, we didn't know, because we had no internet, we had no information. There was some helicopters that was throwing flyers. Some helicopters that was throwing flyers saying, be careful, there is another storm coming, stay home, be safe. That's the only information we had. It's like World War II. And fortunately, we were waiting, we was home, the wind never picked up. But we were worried, so I had to help the neighbors to fix the windows, to fix their doors that were exploded apart. And that's something that, you know, people, they come back and they're always grateful for. It makes you feel like you've done the right thing. And when something like this happens, it shows the human nature. The real human nature of people come out. If you are a disgrace for this planet, like many people did here in Sint Maarten, they went, they break into all the supermarket, they break into the hardware store, they break into the hardware shop and the electronic store. I've seen people the same day or the day after the storm, big television, pickup truck with 2-3 fridges. They loot, they break everything. My house is next to a pharmacy. They break into the pharmacy. People living with cases of medications. What are you going to do with it? And that's very scary, because we were prepared. And being in the restaurant business, I was able to went to some suppliers before the storm, and they give me cases of water, they give me food, and I was well stocked. And I said to myself, if these people, they're gonna get stuff to rob with value, it's gonna finish. No more television, no more, and then they're gonna start to be hungry, because you cannot eat a cell phone. They start to be hungry, so they're gonna come by me to get my food and my water. And that was the drama. We lived the first 5 days after the storm, because the first aid started to come in on Sunday and Monday. The storm was on Wednesday. So it was, and the first gendarme, I see the police from the French side, they asked him, what's going on? This is gonna stop. And the guy tell me, look, we are 8 in the whole platoon of Marigot, which is the capital of the French side. We are all here. It's 200 people thieving. What do you expect us to do? Go home, stay home, lock yourself in your house. Good luck, it's going to be tough. That's what the policeman told me. So imagine how we felt. A wife and 2 small children. Thanks God I live on the 3rd floor, so you're not very exposed, but you can see from the balcony what's going on, and the people. I have videos, I mean, it's unbelievable. You see people with a shopping cart full of electronics coming from the electronics store and going home, walking in the middle of the road with a shopping cart. And kids, the most horrible thing is the kids. 5, 6, 10 years old, they break into a toy store. They take away everything. So you see kids with a big teddy bear, you see kids with a toy box, and that's where I say that you can see the real human nature that comes out, because you have people outside trying to start to clean up, and you have people that take advantage of the situation. And some people blame the stress, some people blame the shock of the event. I don't know. I mean, if that could be good enough to justify such behavior. But we are all here. We're cleaning up. We're rebuilding. We're strong enough that we stand up again and make it happen. And as I told you, I'm very, very lucky. The roof is still there. My workplace is still there. This is not just the immediate effect of the storm, it's also the long-term effect. Because all the businesses, they've been destroyed and looted. Some, if not most of them, they went out of business. A lot of the hotels were closed. The airport is destroyed. So, it's not just the immediate damage. If your roof is going, but you have a job and you can still collect a salary, you can build it back. But if you don't have no roof, no house, no more job, no more salary, no more car, and there's a lot of people in this situation. The French side is helping a little bit, the Dutch side, it's really, they were really relying on some outside help to come, but and of course it cannot last forever. So when it's finished, a lot of people is left to their destiny, and that's very little social responsibility from the government. But that's a big discussion.
The hurricane is long gone, but the pain lingers on. Yeah. And the question, interesting question, as I have learned during the active phase of the hurricane, it lasted maybe 1 day or 1.5 days.
Overall, I believe that the serious part, because you see, when you live here, winds of a certain speed, it doesn't count anymore. 50, 60, 70 kilometers an hour, you can have that any day. So a lot of the storm is wind picking up, then you have a real dangerous phase, and then you have a phase going down. I would say that the real problematic phase was between 5 in the morning. Then we had the eye. The eye came at 10 minutes to 10, and it lasted until 10:20, 10:25. So we had half an hour of flat, calm. Nothing happened. No, not even a leaf move. And you realize that's only half, because the other half still have to come. The real rough part was until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because what happened, you have slow, very, very strong, then nothing, then very strong, and then going. Because you know that the eye walls, you get this part, then you have nothing, then you get the other part, but then it's slowing down. So we start to really go out in the afternoon after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So overall, a good 10 hours of fear. Then, of course, the complete phenomenon, yes, that's about 24 hours. We were lucky that it was moving away pretty quick. I think about 12 or 14 miles an hour of the whole displacement of the phenomenon. Because if you compare to Lewis in 1995, there was a category 4, 140 miles an hour wind, but that took 48 hours to pass on the island, much longer. If this storm would have been just as slow in moving away as Lewis, this island would probably be not in the shape that it is now. It would probably be a place that it's going to be rendered uninhabitable. You know, several other islands like Antigua or Barbuda. Barbuda has been declared a non-habitable island because of the same storm. It was hit right in the face, just like us, a few hours before, and that was the drama. Some people sent me some video on WhatsApp of Barbuda the day before, the afternoon before. This is what happening there. Is this really gonna come here? Because you see a little wind, and then the wind is picking up strong, and you see some cars passing, and then the cars are flying away. So this cannot be. And yes, that's how it was.
And during this active phase, especially when the Hurricane eye passed your place, it was a dramatic drop of pressure, yes? And did you feel physically something?
Physically, it's like when you go up to the mountain, you feel a lot of pressure in the ears. You know what was unbelievable? It's the pressure that you feel. You see, remember I told you I boarded up my window and I left a little space. So I was there stupidly, because if the glass would have break, I was probably gonna be disfigured. I was holding my living room window, which is about half of this. And I'm there pushing on the window, and I feel dust in my eyes, and I say, but where is this dust coming from? So it's the pressure was pushing on the window. The screws who are holding the whole frame are eating in the cement, and the dust that's coming out, it's passing through the little slit that you have, and yes, the physical part in the ear, but also that was the scariest part. And you realize that afterwards they give us the measurements of how low was the millibars, hectopascal, sorry. And I am not confident with this kind of measurement. The person who told me, which is somebody from the meteorological office on the French side, that they've never recorded something like that ever in their experience. And the equivalent of pressure, it's 900 and something kilos per square meter. So you can hold as much as you want, but if it has to break, it's going to break. And stupidly we don't think, but then you realize that it's better you close yourself in the bathroom and stay safe rather than play the hero and and it gets scarred for the rest of your life. But anyway, fortunately the kids didn't get shocked too much, and that was my biggest concern. And they were very brave. You know the story of the 3 little piggy? That there is the wolf, and there is the first piggy has the house of straw, the second piggy has the house of wood, and the third piggy is the house of brick. So when I told my son that Mother Nature was going to come and blow with a lot of wind, my son knocked on the wall and said, "This is house of brick. We're not going to have any problem." And I said to myself, look how such a small, innocent kid can calm himself down and say, okay, yeah, it's going to be windy, but hey, house of brick, we're cool. That's unbelievable.
Mother Nature delivered the trophies of this fairy tale. So, Marco, thank you very much for this interesting story. So, we hope that the life will come to the normal way very soon. So, and all of us, we want to express our solidarity to the people of Sint Maarten. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If I can just say one last thing.
Yes.
You know, this island, the only means of survival is tourism. So just like you did, we needed people to come back. We are here, we're ready. There is plenty of places that they're ready to host tourists, restaurant, the beaches are beautiful, the car rentals are here, the airport is operational. So, you know, you could make an offer to some of this organization who are here to help. But the best thing to do is keep Sint Maarten in your vacation list. Come down, the place is beautiful, the sea is beautiful, life is back to normal, and the best way to bring it to the level it was is to have back the tourists. It's called the friendly island because we have a very nice attitude towards each other and towards the people who come here. So we are open for business.
Yeah, so please visit Sint Maarten.
Exactly.
Yeah, bye-bye. 73.